Eat more almonds and have more almond milk. They're incredibly nutritious and delicious. It doesn't matter if they're roasted, raw, toasted, it doesn't matter. They're full of nutrients. And there are some dangerous people out there in social media saying, don't eat them because they've got phytic acid and oxalates. Well, these people have no idea, none whatsoever. They haven't bothered looking at any research, and that's what I do really well. So in the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to explain to you why you should be eating a small handful of almonds every single day. They're so good for you. In fact, they're even linked with living longer, but hold on to the end because I'll explain how and why. End of the day, people say oxalates. Well, oxalates are in almonds and just about all of your plant-based foods. So if you have plants, you'd probably be dead by now, according to these idiots on social media. No, these oxalates can form oxalate stones in your kidneys. However, they find that the people who have the most oxalates in their diet have the right type of bacteria, which converts them and reverses the risk. In fact, the highest risk of oxalate formation is meat. What? And they don't even have oxalates in them. Explain that. So it's really simple. The oxalates are not a problem. Secondly, phytic acid or phytates. And some people say, oh, it blocks the minerals like the oxalates. It blocks the minerals, but nuts are rich in minerals, as you'll see in just a moment. And it blocks the minerals. However, when it gets down to the large intestine and your gut microbiome, it releases them again. Yeah. So it doesn't, it actually holds on to for a while. It's a little taxi ride down to the larger intestine, and small intestine too to a degree, and it releases them. But on top of that, these phytates are probiotic. They actually help stimulate the gut bacteria. They're prebiotic. They feed the good gut bacteria. In addition, phytic acid, and I'll have a whole other video just on how good phytic acid is, but it's antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and that's the cause of all our chronic illness. It's immunomodulatory. In other words, it helps rebalance our immune system. It has anti-cardiovascular properties. It's linked with lowering hypertension, lowering the risk of some cancers, particularly colon cancer, and diabetes and metabolic syndrome. So this is what the research is showing. I'm going to go into, this is just the phytic acid. Imagine how good the nuts are, because the nuts just don't have phytic acid in it. They've got all of these. They've got 20% protein, and L-arginine is the main one. And that is the main ingredient if you want to lower hypertension, lower high blood pressure. Yeah, it actually gets in there and helps relax the arteries. Arteries relax and the blood can flow around. So it has really potent antihypertensive. In fact, you can get an L-arginine supplement, or you can eat almonds to lower blood pressure. It's also high in fat, but the fats are the really good fats, the monounsaturated fats and the polyunsaturated fats. In fact, a lot like the ones you get in all of your things that people tell you are good, like olive oil. Oh, they've got lots of those same type of fats in there. So they're in your body doing wondrous and marvelous things. Now that also means almonds don't have much sugar at all. But they do have fiber, lots and lots of fiber. And if you listen to any of my videos, and you should if you want to live longer, be happier and smarter and enjoy life, if you do watch the ones, the single best supplement you can take to live longer, without any doubt, is fiber. It is so good. And almonds have 12%. Now, a good food is 4%, but you're getting 12% in here, both insoluble and soluble, which means that it can actually work on the gut bacteria in different ways, and a little bit later on that. Then you look at the vitamins and minerals in it. Vitamin E, a potent fat-soluble antioxidant, linked with a whole raft of benefits, including anti-heart attack, stroke, and cancer. And so you'll see some of those results in just a moment. B vitamins, B2, B6, and of course folate, which everyone knows, B9. It's high in these. It's rich in all of the B vitamins, or just about all of the B vitamins. Minerals, magnesium, which is the calming, relaxing, blood pressure, immune mineral. This is what it does throughout the body. Manganese, calcium, potassium helps lower blood pressure. Again, one of the benefits of almonds. I actually have a blood pressure smoothie recipe, and it includes almonds because almonds have so many ingredients in it, that are antihypertensive. So potassium, zinc, which is fantastic for the immune system, your skin, so many properties, a couple of hundred functions around the body, zinc. And then it's got all these big plant-based chemicals we call polyphenols. And one's called phytosterols, or the plant-based sterols. Now, what's important about this isn't the name, it's the fact that it helps rebalance cholesterol. And so many people say, Pete, you've written a book all about cholesterol, how do you balance it? Well, the best way to balance it is eat healthy foods. And of course, remember, cholesterol doesn't kill you. It's usually the medication that does. Anyway, coming back onto here, and there are dozens and dozens of other polyphenols in there that have huge benefits across the board. These plant-based chemicals, the same ones you get in green tea, the same ones you get in your red wine that people used to tell you that it's healthy before they realized there was alcohol in it, and all these other benefits. So we've got all of these nutrients in almonds that provide you with a huge range of health benefits. With all those nutrients, no wonder it has so many benefits around the body, including the gut microbiome. Now, the gut microbiome plays a huge role in health. In fact, I have over 150 videos just on how the gut microbiome relates to so many issues. So if it improves the gut microbiome, instantly it starts to have benefits around the body. And it increases the biodiversity, which is the number of the microorganisms in the large intestine in particular, and the diversity of them, which is healthy. The more varieties and species you've got, the better it is. In particular, it increases bifidobacteria and lactobacillus. They're two that you get in your yogurts and your probiotic powders and supplements you get. And another one's got Akkermansia, which is sometimes called the anti-diabetes microorganism. How's that? Yep. And when you take some of the anti-diabetic medication, what do you think it does? It increases it, and guess what? Yeah, almonds do that. Isn't it fantastic? And then almonds also decrease the opportunistic ones. These are the nasty ones, the ones that kind of are like the weeds in the garden. They take over when they can, and it decreases it. And in the process of producing the good ones and getting rid of the toxins from the nasty ones, you produce short-chain fatty acids, and these include butyrate, propionate, and acetate. Now, acetate is also called acetic acid, vinegar, which you know vinegar is so good for you. Yes, I have a whole video just on the benefits of vinegar, and it produces it in your gut as a result of the microorganisms fermenting almonds and the fiber in them and the nutrients in them to produce these. And these have all whole body effects throughout the whole body, absolutely, including inflammation, lowering inflammation and lowering oxidation. And these are the two key factors in all forms of chronic illness. Then we see studies showing that a reduction in the risk of heart attack and stroke, reducing your risk of cardiovascular disease. Almonds have been shown overwhelmingly to help lower blood pressure. And when you consider that they've got L-arginine, I've already mentioned in there, got magnesium in there, when they've got butyrate, and a whole raft of these other factors in there that help lower blood pressure. They are probably one of the single best nutrients you can take to help lower blood pressure. Wow, isn't that great? That's why I included it in my blood pressure smoothie. And of course, then you've got a decrease in metabolic syndrome, and included in that is a balancing of the cholesterol, a lowering of the triglycerides, which are the nasty fats in there, and a lowering of uric acid, which is the one that causes gout. So if you've got gout, you certainly want to get onto almonds, because uric acid levels decrease by about 15% with the consumption of a small handful of nuts every day. Wow, what a great process. Simple, isn't it? And of course, we have a video just on gout. If you have gout, you know the pain, you know the suffering, you better watch the videos we've got on reducing the risk of gout and how to reverse gout. Yes, you can. And then we see in diabetes type 2, eating almonds decreases the risk of diabetes 2 and helps manage diabetes type 2 and even reverse diabetes type 2. It's been shown to lower blood glucose levels. These are the levels that you get, your sugar levels, after you have a meal with some sugary substances in there. And if you consume almonds with it, it balances it out. Now, there are lots of ways that it does it, because it's got fiber in it and lots of complex nutrients at work. But one of the other ways is it blocks the enzyme which digests sugar, amylase. And as a result, the sugar gets digested slowly instead of getting a peak in your blood and then down and another peak later on with another sugar. It helps balance it all out. So lots of ways that almonds manage the blood glucose levels, which is fantastic for diabetics and anyone with pre-diabetes. It also lowers the glycated hemoglobin, which is the damage, the oxidation done to the proteins, hemoglobin in your blood, and it gets oxidized and damaged and can't function properly. It gets kind of sticky in the blood. And this helps reverse that process or stop that process because of all the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory and all the nutrients it's got in there to do that. It helps decrease insulin resistance so that the glucose in the blood can actually get into the muscles a lot more where they need the work to be done. So it kind of opens up the cells a little bit literally for the glucose to get out of the blood where it's doing the damage and into the cells where it can be used as energy. The studies also show a close link with almond consumption and a decreased body weight and obesity. Now, a lot of people are thinking, well, hold on, but they're full of calories. Yes, they are. But they help modulate and regulate your digestion. In one of the ways they used to think that, oh, they weren't chewed enough, so some of the bits weren't digested, so you weren't getting all the calories. That's bunkum. It's the nutrients in there that slow down the weight gain, but also increase the feeling of fullness. Consuming nuts in general, but almonds, the studies show overwhelmingly, nuts give you that satiety, the feeling of fullness, feeling, wow, I've had enough to eat right now. So basic bottom line, you want to lose weight, have a small handful of nuts in that healthy weight loss program. Then you've got a decrease in bone mineral density. Nuts, and in particular almonds, are great for bone health. They decrease the osteoclasts, which are the ones that take the calcium off. And problem with calcium coming off the bone is it sometimes get caught up in your arteries. And one of the things that this does is it helps decrease the calcium loss from the bones and therefore helps stop the plaque formation, the calcium plaque formation in the arteries, which are a real risk factor for cardiovascular disease. It improves mental health. So the associations show more almond consumption and, in a much broader picture, the nut consumption, a lower risk of mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. And they've been shown to be immune boosting, so stimulating the immune system to be healthy. And when you look at all the vitamins and the minerals, vitamin E, which helps with the immune system, zinc and magnesium, which help with the immune system, all of those and all of these from the gut that help with the immune system, you can understand why. And of course, they've also got anti-cancer properties. Now, almonds have been shown to reduce the risk of colon cancer in humans and in some rat studies. So the message is it has lots and lots of benefits. This is only a brief summary. Without any doubt whatsoever, almonds are great for you, healthy, and you should be consuming more almonds. Forget what you see on the other social media saying they've got things in. I've explained to it. This is all based on the scientific studies, which all of my videos are. So check out all of the videos below, subscribe and share this with your friends. And of course, eat more almonds.